Welcome everyone to a top 5 foods since the Bog Witch update. We're gonna run down all the foods since the Ashlands up until the Bog Witch update and what they mean. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. We got the top 5 foods over here, a couple of honorable mentions, and the ones that just couldn't make the cut. So the ones that couldn't make the cut are the sparkling shroom shake, the mashed meat, and the sizzling brothberry. The components of how to make it are right here. To make the sparkling shroom shake, you will need 4 sap, 2 vineberry, 1 smoke puff, and 1 mage cap. In my opinion, what the reason why they couldn't, none of these 3 couldn't make the cap is just the difficulty in which requires to make these things. Now, yes, the sap, the vineberries, the mage cap are all farmable. Same thing with the aspen tail. But what they couldn't make the cut is how low their stats are comparatively to the other ones, and also comparatively at how much easier it is to get the other foods in these updates. So yes, that is the reason why I put these in, that they didn't make the cut. Now, for the honorable mentions are the ones who almost made the cut. Now, marinated greens. It gives you 32 health, 16 stamina, 95 ether, which comes up to a total of 143 stats. Gives you 4 HP per tick, and it's made out of, yes, 3 sap, 2 mage cap, 2 fiddlehead, and 2 smoke puff. Now, the reason why I put this over the other ones, even though this requires basically 2 items that require you to actually go out and get, and you can't really farm them, is the stats. The stats is much higher than the other ones. While the sparkling shroom shake gives you 135 total, mashed meat gets you 134 total, and the sizzling berry broth gives you 127, while the marinated greens gives you 143 total stats. But it's still not in the top 5, which we'll get into later. It's still a very good item. It is the best ether item if you're into magic stuff, just not for me. Now, the second honorable mention would be the roasted crust pie, which requires 2 vineberry, 1 vulture egg, 4 barley flour to make uncooked roasted crust pie by using the food preparation table, and then you can stick it into the oven to create the roasted crust pie. It gives you 34 health, 100 stamina, and 4 HP per tick. It's a very good item in itself, but the fact that you have to go kill vultures, even though 2 of these items are very easily farmed, barley flour a little bit more difficult. I noticed that vineberry clusters do take a while to farm up, but once you have them, obviously. It's just the fact that you have to go out and actually defeat the vultures and pick up their eggs in order to make this, which didn't make the cut, hence why it is here. Now, for the actual top 5, coming in at number 5 will be your spicy marmalade. Now, yes, it only gives you 120 stats total, 30 health, 90 stamina, but it's made with 2 components that you can easily farm, which is the 3 vineberry clusters, 1 honey, and then 1 fiddlestick. The honey and vineberry clusters you can obviously farm. It takes very little effort to make them. The fiddlehead, you do have to go out and pick them up, but fiddlehead, I've noticed that there is an abundance of fiddleheads in the Ashlands, so once you find some fiddleheads, you're going to find a lot of fiddleheads, unlike the smoke puffs. This is a fantastic stamina item, doesn't require a lot to make one, and it comes in at number 5. At number 4, though, we have the fiery sinew. Sinew? I'm not exactly sure how to say this. Now, it comes with aspen tail, vineberry cluster, and smoke puff in order to make the fiery sinew. Now, this comes with 127 total stats, 95 health, 32 stamina, 6 HP healing per tick, which is a lot more than the 4 HP healing per tick that you get from the spicy marmalade. Now, the only reason why the spicy marmalade is below the fiery sinew is for the fact of this fiery sinew gives 7 more total stats and 2 more HP healing per tick, which in my opinion is very, very useful, especially when you're in the Ashlands and there's a lot of things attacking you. You want to be able to have be able to replenish your health as quickly as possible. Now, coming in the 3rd place, we have the Scorching Melody. Now, the last video that I did, the salad was number 1. This came in 3rd place, unfortunately, because it's not all the ingredients are farmable. Fiddlehead, you have 3 Juno puffs. Hudo puffs? I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. 3 onion, 3 fiddleheads, but then it creates 3 of this Scorching Melody, which gives you 32 health, 95 stamina, and comes in with 127 total stats, and also 4 HP per tick, which is the exact same number total stats of the Fiery Sinew, but the only reason why I have it up here is because you can create a lot more of these with just this less material. While this creates 1 sinew with 1 fiery sinew with 2 vineberry clusters, this creates 3 with 3 of each. So 1 of each creates 1 of these, which is actually really good. Yes, you're missing out on healing per tick, but you have the same amount of total stats, which is pretty good. It's an excellent stamina item for the ones who want to have a high stamina build. Now, coming in at number 2 is the piquant pie. I don't know how to pronounce this, but in order to make it, you'll need 2 vineberry clusters, 2 askvintel, and then 4 barley flour. To make the uncooked pautique pie, you put it in the oven, and then you will get the cooked version, which gives you 105 health, 35 stamina, 16 HP healing per tick, which comes to a total of 140 total stats. Now, there's only 2 other foods since the Bog Witch update that actually beat these stats, which is the marinated greens coming in at 143, which is one of the honorable mentions down there, and of course the one that comes in at number 1. So the reason why this one is number 2 is because all of these items are farmable. You don't have to put yourself in danger to get the tails. You don't have to put yourself in danger to get flour or the vineberry clusters, because you can have this in your bases. Obviously, you will need barley in order to make the barley flour. You will need a base in the plains in order to make this stuff. But I think this is very doable and a very easy item to make, and it also gives you a lot of stats, and it gives you the 6 HP healing per tick, which is phenomenal. But it's still not the best. It's still not the best, even with how easy it is to make this stuff and how easy it is that you can just stack chest after chest after chest of all of these ingredients given time without even having to do a lot of work. So the number 1 food came from the Bog Witch update. Once you find the Bog Witch, once you've gotten to the Ashlands, you are given a very special item that you can buy from the Bog Witch, and it creates the best food in Valheim right now, and that is the Ashlands Gourmet Bowl. The item that you get from the Bog Witch is the Fiery Spice Powder, which you can buy from the Bog Witch. To make this, it requires 3 cooked Afskintel, 5 vineberry clusters, 2 scorching melodies, and of course the Fiery Spice Powder to make 1 Ashlands Gourmet Bowl. It gives you 75 HP, 75 stamina, and 38 ether, which comes to a total of 188 total stats with 6 HP healing per tick. That is crazy. If any of you have been playing early Valheim, you would understand that a lot of the items used to give you both HP and healing, but now they change it to where there's stamina food and HP food, and you really have to pick and choose what you want to consume in order to have a high HP build, a high stamina build, or a high ether build. You really have to choose. You can't really choose the three of them. Until now, they bring it back with this Ashland Gourmet Bowl. It's got a ton of stats. It's good for every single build. If you want to go ether, you take it. If you want to go in high HP, you take it. If you want to go high stamina, you take it, because it gives you a good amount of everything. Yes, it's not as high as the 100 stamina that you get from other ones. It's not as high as 100 health that you get the other one. Or it's not as high as the 90 ether that you get from the other one. The reason why you would want to always have this in your inventory to consume is because it gives you so much stats of everything. You might not even be a magic wielder, but the fact that you get 150 stats alone in the health and stamina department is good enough for the people who don't use ether. Now, if you do use ether, you still want to take this because of the high stamina and high health that it gives you. Even though it doesn't give you a lot of ether, you can dip into 2 ether foods on top of this Ashland's Gourmet Bowl, and you can have a really solid magic build. And on top of that, it gives you 6 HP per tick, and the duration is also the highest at 50 minutes. It is the best food in the game stats wise, even though it is made out of the Scorch Melody, which you have to go get Fiddlehead for. Even though the rest of these items are farmable once you find the Bog Witch. Of course, you're going to put a portal next to it, and you're just going to visit the Bog Witch and buy the items whenever you see fit. It is the best food in Ashlands. I recommend that you always have it in your inventory for any occasion. All of these foods does have a disclaimer of you do need the level 6 cauldron to make most of these foods with the rolling pins and cutting boards, the Ashland Gourmet Bowl, and some other stuff that you can use here in the food preparation table, but you still need this level 6 cauldron to make all of the foods basically. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. This is the top 5 foods since the Bog Witch update. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and there'll be more to come. Have a wonderful day, and see you later.